Okay.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and happy Friday. Welcome to the Daily Herold here on Badlands Media. Hope you all are having a great week so far. Great day. Today is the 3-year anniversary of Badlands Media. It was exactly, a couple dates. On October 6th is when I went and filed all the LLC paperwork and everything. October 10th was the first stream that Zach and I did together of Baseless Conspiracies. Crazy to think it's been 3 years. It's been wild. We've been through it. It's not always been easy. But I want to just say thank you to, first of all the family we have here at Badlands, the creators, especially the ones we have like right now. We have such a good group of people. And man, I couldn't do it without them. They've been so supportive, especially through some of the recent stuff, which we'll discuss in the near future. But another big shout out to all you Badlanders that always tune in and have always been so supportive, despite all the BS we go through. You guys are just awesome. We have such a good community here. But enough about me and us. Let's talk about the news. There's not a whole lot going on. I mean, a few big stories we'll get into, but nothing crazy. Maybe one crazy story. The Dominion one selling is interesting. But yeah, you guys are great. Look at you all in the chat. Hit that thumbs up. Do me a favor do that. We'll get a quick word from our sponsors, and then we'll start cruising through. Maybe tonight on the Onlylands, we'll do a little more celebration type 3-year anniversary type thing. But here we go. Let's kick it off with a little. Who do I got today? Oh, we got some Rise Attire. We'll start with them.
What is the Sovereign Alliance? The Sovereign Alliance are a collection of leaders and countries that are aligned not in the vision for their countries, but against a vision that has been thrust upon them. I believe that the Sovereign Alliance is less a battle for something and more a battle against something. They are against globalism, collectivism. They are against the rules-based international order.
Sovereign Alliance, the latest addition to Badlands Rise merch, available now at badlandsmedia.tv/rise.
Get your Rise gear, everybody. The other sponsor we had is Goldco, and I forgot to get the video up. So I'm just going to tell you guys, if you haven't yet, I would get your gold. If you have a 401k or something, I would encourage you to at least inquire about rolling that over into physical gold and silver at badlandsgold.com. Gold has been soaring. Silver's been soaring. If you've been taking our advice, not financial advice, just generic, regular, run-of-the-mill advice, you'd be probably doing pretty well right now. And we're still giving that non-financial advice. So check it out, badlandsgold.com. And then lastly, if you haven't yet, you guys got to get your tickets to GART down in Florida, Cocoa Beach. It's going to be a heck of a time. I cannot wait to get down there, hang out with everybody. This is one of my favorite venues. Not my favorite. I can't lie. Deadwood is always going to be my favorite place. I don't think it doesn't matter where we go. Deadwood is going to be one of a kind. But this is right there, right near the top. It's a great place, great people. We're going to put together a great conference for you guys. Yesterday, we did our first exclusive live stream for ticket holders. So once you get a ticket, you'll get the link to that. And you'll get access to all the future ones as well. So we pack the content in. Make sure you guys don't miss out. Join us in person. And if you can't, get a virtual ticket. They're cheaper than ever. Plus, they're at a discounted rate through the 15th. But all right, let's start with this news. So, you know the whole YouTube giving everybody their accounts back? Well, we got like we have like 4 YouTube accounts now that are active. Because I got an email today. I noticed like, hey, we're gonna make your account active again. Let me find that email. Hold on. I want to redo what they actually say because I thought it was funny. And you know what? I'm just gonna read it from my screen here, my phone, or the image I sent to the group chat. Patel Patriot, we've reviewed your appeal for the following. And channel is Badlands Media. After taking another look, we can confirm that your channel does not violate our community guidelines. And they did that for 2 channels, 2 separate ones that we've done. One was one I started under Patel Patriot, one I started under Badlands Media LLC. Then we have the one that you guys are watching on right now. I think what makes the most sense moving forward, and Chris Paul, this was his idea. The one that you're watching on right now, I don't even know what the link is for it. It's YouTube.com. I think it's like Badlands Media Official. Yeah. So you guys are watching right now on this at Badlands Media Official. We do have 4.04 thousand subscribers, which thank you for everybody who subscribed over there. But I do think it makes the most sense to switch over eventually. We're going to get this one. We're going to start streaming to it, and we'll have to monetize and all that stuff if they allow it. If they don't allow it, then it doesn't make sense to switch. But I think we're going to switch to the one that's just at Badlands Media for branding wise and everything. I think it makes the most sense. It's got a little bit more subscribers. There's one other YouTube account that we have that got activated that has over 5,000 subscribers. But it's like Badlands. I think it might be Badlands _media. Yeah, Badlands _media. That got activated too. Oh, that's so funny. So Badlands Media Official, at Badlands Media, at Badlands _media, and then at, I think it's Badlands Media Clips or something. We got them all now. So I was complaining about them continuing to ban us, and rightfully so. Those guys were assholes about it. But now they've given them all back. I think I saw Jordan Sather got his account back, and he's got like a lot of subscribers. He hasn't been able to like access or stream to it, and so that's the issue. We got to make sure we can do that with this other one. But just make sure you're following us, giving us a like wherever. We'll make you guys aware once we decide to do the switch. Can't roll them into one, unfortunately, Jessica. But anyway, all right. Let's start plucking away at the news. No update on the Doge website. No surprise. We got a couple things on the presidential website. Nothing crazy except for this construction of Arctic security cutters. Like at first I thought it was going to be an NSPM, but it's not. And it's just talking about strategic competition from like foreign adversaries. And it's in the Arctic base. So I don't know if it's like, I'll just read this and you guys we'll talk after. The United States faces an urgent and growing threat in the Arctic region posed by strategic competition, aggressive military posturing, and economic encroachment by foreign adversaries. These actions undermine United States sovereignty, jeopardize critical shipping lanes, and threaten energy, mineral, and national defense interests. The United States Coast Guard's fleet of icebreakers and Arctic-capable vessels remains insufficient to meet current operational demands and presents national security risk. So they're going to build more icebreakers, and we're going to dominate the Arctic. Cool beans. Countdown or count up. Still going. 9 days, 13 hours. No end in sight. Not disappointed in that by any means. Did CanCon get his? I do not know if CanCon got his YouTube back. 12 Indie Boy says, I'm so pumped for you guys to get the accounts back, but I'm loyal to Rumble. And we are too. I mean, Rumble, I don't anticipate us ever doing like exclusive YouTube streams, you know? We do it with Rumble because they're like our partner. They were there for us during the rough times. So we're not just going to go back to the shiny new toy and forget about who stood by us. We're not going to do that. Plus, Rumble's got some really interesting things in the works. Yeah, just make sure you guys are following us everywhere, and we'll see what happens. Fixed Baynet, those bans cost some a lot of income over the years. Too bad they can't recoup that. I mean, if there was a class action lawsuit, which Trump's lawsuit was supposed to be class action, but wasn't really, and then he settled, and I don't remember everybody else getting money from it. Not poor Zach. He has his backup, but not his 250K one. Or more, actually. Yeah, that sucks. I hope he gets back too. But yeah, anyway, we'll see what happens. It's a weird like mea culpa from them though. I mean, they're acknowledging that what they did to ban people was wrong. And if that's the case, there should be repercussions for that. Like you can't do something wrong and improper and then just like, okay, well, I guess we're going to stop doing the wrong and improper thing and we'll make up for it by just pretending like it never happened. No, you should face the consequences of your actions. So we'll see. I hope we see that. I've said that from the beginning. Remember when Zuckerberg went on Joe Rogan and it's like, it wasn't my fault, I'm sorry, all these things. And I was like pissed. I was critical. I think it was a OnlyLens episode or something. And people were like bent out of shape. That I was like, this dude is trying to go on some sort of redemption tour here. And everybody's celebrating it. Just because he was kind of, he's feeding the confirmation bias. Like, oh, I knew Zuckerberg and Facebook did all those things. See? But it's okay. As long as he's changed his opinion now. No. He only changed his opinion because it was politically correct to do so. At the time, he knew exactly what he was doing. There should be consequence for that. Anyway, whatever. Let's keep going. Trump. There's a big push about Trump getting the Nobel Peace Prize. I don't know if you guys saw that. Even Netanyahu, like said, I think we talked about that yesterday. Netanyahu was like, "Yeah, man, Trump should get it for what he did here," but instead it went to some female, Maria Machado. Nobel Peace Prize goes to Venezuelan opposition leader, despite Trump lobbying. Maria Corina Machado won for her year spent working for the freedom of the Venezuelan people, according to the Nobel Committee chairman. President Trump on Friday did not win the prize he has long sought. Like awards like these are stupid anyway. It's all marketing. It's a pyramid scheme. With the award going to the Venezuelan opposition leader, Machado, Trump this year has forced been lobbied for the prize. I mean, he's done more peace than anybody, if the conflicts were even real. She's spoken out for judicial independence, human rights, and popular representation. I mean, I've spoken for all those things. I know a lot of people who've spoken for all those things. Should we all get peace prizes? Like, what about actually ending wars? That should be something. But anyway, she did dedicate it to Donald Trump. Venezuelan opposition leader dedicates Nobel Prize to Trump for decisive support. Dedicate this prize to the suffering people of Venezuela and to President Trump for his decisive support, she wrote in an X post. How thoughtful. This is what the committee actually said, though, when asked why Trump didn't win it. Probably share my screen, huh?
U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly said he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize and he'd like to have it. He even said that it would be an insult to the United States if he doesn't get it. What does as a chairman of the Nobel Peace Prize Committee, think of this, and how has this campaign-like activity by the president and his supporters domestically and internationally affected the deliberations and the thinking in the committee?
In the long history of the Nobel Peace Prize, I think this committee have seen any type of campaign, media attention. We receive thousands and thousands of letters every year of people wanting to say what for them leads to peace. This committee sits in a room filled with the portraits of all laureates, and that room is filled with both courage and integrity. So we base only our decision on the work and the will of Alfred Nobel.
I mean, what a pussy. We only give the award to people of courage and integrity. I mean, Trump got shot in the ear and stood up and did some fist pumps. That seems a little courageous to me. I don't know if I could do that, but whatever. That's why, I I don't care that he didn't get it. There's plenty of things that Trump is deserving of, like good things, but that good people are deserving of generally that they don't get. It's just how life works. It is what it is. What are the Pulitzer Prize? Like the New York Times, all the people that got the Pulitzer Prize for the Russiagate, Spygate stuff that they did when it all turned out to be a hoax, and Trump suing them over it. I mean, this is all party of false decorum stuff anyway. Spetzel says the Nobel vote on Monday and the push for Trump started Wednesday. He still should have won it for the rest of the wars he ended, but never expected it. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets it by the time he's like totally done with his presidency. Betty W07, we need a show with Eric R. He is incredible. I've had a few people say that. Some people don't agree with everything he says, but we'll bring him on OnlyLands at some point and see how he fits with the rest of us. And because if I'm being totally honest, I've heard the reviews. I haven't actually had a chance to watch anything yet. Words like this have lost all credibility. Yep. 100%. I do think they award it every year. But anyway, we'll keep trucking along. Comey's friend Dan Richman was made aware of ethics rules against sharing government info. They're really like harping on this Comey thing, and when it's coming from John Solomon and his rag over at Just the News, this is it's keeping the narrative afloat. Like they don't want the story and the narrative surrounding what James Comey did here and just him being indicted generally to fall off. And so, yeah, obviously this guy knew. Dan Richman already knew. Like that's stupid. This is a stupid article to even write. Like this is an obvious headline, obvious story. And why do they do that? They write these because there's more coming on it, which is important to understand. Fired FBI Director James Comey has been indicted for lying to Congress when he denied authorizing FBI leaks to the media, with multiple sources telling Just the News that Comey authorized his personal advisor and friend, Daniel Richman, to leak to the press. Internal FBI emails show Richman was told about ethics rules against leaking. I'm pretty sure everybody getting hired in any place, probably other than Badlands, gets like okay, here's our ethics meeting. Make sure you don't do this. Make sure you don't sexually harass the women. Stuff like that. I mean, maybe that comes off weird. Badlands is against sexual harassment. I want to make that clear. We just do our best to hire people that don't have to sit through a meeting and have somebody tell them that. Does that make sense? Internal FBI emails released through the Freedom of Information Act show that while Richman signed a June 2015 acknowledgement related to his appointment to be a special government employee, his first term as an SGE appeared to have officially lapsed at the end of June 2016. The paperwork for Richman to re-sign to have him continue as an SGE does not appear to have been sent to Richman again until December 2016. And FBI emails indicate that Richman never actually signed it, despite having been reappointed as an SGE in 2016. During this time frame, Richman continued meeting with Comey and communicating with FBI officials. Officially signed paperwork initially in 2015, acknowledging ethics guidelines, which barred him from misusing government information. Oh, yeah, I meant, I guess I do sexually harass BB sometimes, but he also sexually harasses himself. And if somebody's willing to do that, I feel like that gives everybody permission to do it too. John, have you seen Russ Vought posted that RIFs have begun? I have not seen that, but let me find that now. That is awesome. If true, Lisa D920. Let me pull Russ Vought up here quick. Oh, that might be. Oh, yeah. Here we go. The RIFs have begun. Hell yeah. Man, we should do over-unders on how many government employees we think are going to get a reduction in force instead of just a furlough. I'd love to see, like, I think I would be happy. I mean, I guess I would only be happy, truly happy, in terms of government layoffs if 100% of the people that are considered not essential, not working right now, were laid off. But like an acceptable percentage of like, okay, we're gonna be firing a bunch of the people that are not working right now because they're not essential. I don't know, 50% at least would be cool. Like, that'd be a good start. I wonder what he's actually gonna do. You need a secretary, John. Yes, I do. I need a lot of things. But I can't afford a secretary, guys. 60% to start. That's good. I like that. 50%. 1 million government jobs cut. Just close the IRS for good. Yeah. They talk about that stuff. There's so many things that they haven't gone back to, though. Every now and then we'll get a comment from Trump about, eliminating the IRS and abolishing taxes and using the External Revenue Service to fund taxes, and they haven't gone back to. We haven't audited the Fed or Fort Knox or whatever, the gold. Like, where'd that story go? They talked about it for like 2 days and then shut it down. R. Hody says, this is a hard one. That's what she said. I would say greater than 30%, but that just may be a pipe dream. Probably closer to 0. 1280 boy, John, JC said thanks, LOL, if she gets laid off. She's not going to get laid off. She is essential. And is she working right now, or is she furloughed? I guess I didn't even ask that. Dang. If that's true, I don't want JC laid off. I take back what I said, guys. We do not want JC laid off. But I can't imagine she would be considered non-essential in any regard. She's essential to us. The Doge stall, says Cian Stewart. That's a good way to put it. Jay Hamsham says, why would you be happy if someone and their family is kicked out of their job from no fault of their own? I mean, I obviously do not wish ill upon anybody. I don't want anybody to suffer in any way. I don't want to see people lose their job. But what I do want to see is my tax dollars being used in a proper manner. And I don't want to be paying taxes at all. I mean, to be blunt. And if there are jobs in government that are simply there so people can have a paycheck and soak up my tax dollars, then yeah, I don't want to be paying for that. There are other jobs outside of government service that people can get to make a living that aren't just leeching off the American taxpayer. That's my issue with this. Don't wish ill will upon anybody. Don't want anybody to suffer. Don't want anybody to lose income and not be able to pay things. But like, if that's our mindset, then we're going to start, let's open the border back up again, because there's people in other countries that, they're suffering. In order to get from where we are now back to like the golden age, which is the path we're headed on, there are things that are going to happen that are going to be uncomfortable. And some people are going to have to suffer for a time. All of us, probably. I mean, we've had to suffer a lot the last 5-6 years, especially with Trump gone. Like, that's part of growth. That's part of advancement. And how you choose to like approach it, it says a lot about your character. Some people, when they make bad decisions, instead of accepting like what's in front of them, they'll try to tear everybody down with them, and I don't want that for this country. But that's what it should be. This is what we should do. If people want to fund the jobs of non-essential workers, they can pay more in taxes. Those of us that don't want to fund it, don't pay it. And I've said this before about another situation. I don't remember what it was. I think it was with voting on something, like sending money to Ukraine. Like, okay, all of the Democrats voted to send more money to Ukraine. I didn't vote for that. I don't want my money going to Ukraine. So if your senator or your congressman votes in favor of funding something, then only the states that those senators are from should foot the tax bill. They're supposed to be representing their constituents, right? If their constituents don't want to fund that, why should they? But I mean, again, that's like pipe dream stuff. We don't have free and fair elections. Never going to happen. But anyway, sorry, I hope all that I said makes sense. I think 10% is doable, says Spetzel, without hurting the economy. Long term, via other means, 50%. Red Pill 78 wife, do you like big government, or are you just wanting to argument? Or wanting to argue? I think a lot of people just want to argue. Kelly Noak, Oak was non-essential at DOD. But he was when he was active duty, right? I'm going to get to the Dominion thing story here in a little bit, Phil. And it'll be my first time reading it. I'm aware of the headline. I'm aware that CanCon got into like a spat with who's it, Raham Kashim or something? Faith and Freedom, GoFundMe, bro. Yeah. That's what people do when they're not willing to just get jobs. They GoFundMe. And I guess that's not totally true. People who go through emergencies and stuff. But that's different. Like that's what GoFundMe should be for, like emergencies. Like if you have a tragedy and unexpected costs and all these things, totally get it. Start a GoFundMe. If you're just like not willing to get a job and accept, like take responsibility for where you're at for reasons, and then you just GoFundMe off of that, I don't know. All your argument are belong to us. Okay, anyway, I'm going to stop distracting me, chat. Ooh, the DOJ. This is a cool story. The DOJ has indicted Letitia James for alleged bank fraud. Kind of all saw this coming. They've been building this story up for a little while now. The Department of Justice indicted New York Attorney General Letitia James on Thursday for allegations of fraud. Grand jury reportedly approved the charges, according to The Guardian. The indictment followed Federal Housing and Finance Agency Director Bill Pulte making a criminal referral to the Department of Justice, alleging that James falsified bank documents. Based on media reports, Ms. Letitia James has, in multiple instances, falsified bank documents and property records to acquire government-backed assistance and loans and more favorable loan terms. James pursued a civil fraud against Trump in the lead-up to the presidential election that he called part of a political witch hunt. The bench trial saw the president quarrel with Judge Arthur Engoron, Weasel, throughout the proceedings. And I think I have a story here. Yeah, this one. Oh, I got to archive it quick. But the lady who indicted her didn't actually consult with the DOJ, allegedly. But Lindsay Halligan didn't coordinate with New York Attorney General Lindsay Halligan didn't coordinate New York Attorney General Letitia James' indictment with Pam Bondi's DOJ. Seems kind of silly. I don't know if I buy it, but Attorney General Pam Bondi was caught off guard Thursday when President Donald Trump's handpicked U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan secured New York Attorney General Letitia James' indictment from a grand jury. Two sources familiar with what happened told CNN. I don't know if I'm buying it. Maybe they just want the story out there. Maybe it's totally made up, but I don't buy it. Let's go to a couple. Trump was pretty busy on True Social again. A lot of just random news stories he's posting. He's talking about the peace deal. Post this, Jerusalem bringing hostages home. Yes, Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. Talking about angel parents call for Trump to receive Peace Prize. He reposted the story that we talked about yesterday, where he thanked the J6ers when he had previously criticized them. Not the J6ers, the FBI agents who were there, who responded. More talk about the peace deal, blah, blah, blah. But then there's this one. This is the banger. And this has to do with the story I talked about yesterday with China and the rare earth materials and minerals, or whatever. Donald Trump, some very strange things are happening in China. Let's say that again. They are becoming very hostile and sending letters to countries throughout the world that they want to impose export controls on each and every element of production having to do with rare earths and virtually anything else they can think of, even if it's not manufactured in China. Now, before I continue, I just want to pause and say, sending letters to countries, telling them like, hey, this is how much, this is what we're doing now for economic stuff. This is the export control thing we're going to do on this, whatever. That's exactly what Trump did when he told everybody what their tariffs are going to be. Like, he sent every country in the world, and he's posting them on Truth Social. Like, that's hostile now. I just think that's funny. Nobody has ever seen anything like this, except we literally just did when Trump did the tariff stuff. Essentially, it would clog the markets and make life difficult for virtually every country in the world, especially for China. And again, we know that Trump is increasing domestic manufacturing of these things. So I'm not, this is some form of psyop Trump is playing along with here. Anyway, we have been contacted by other countries who are extremely angry at this great trade hostility, which came out of nowhere. Our relationship with China over the past 6 months has been a very good one, thereby making this move on trade an even more surprising one. I have always felt that they've been lying in wait, and now, as usual, I've been proven right. There's no way that China should be allowed to hold the world captive, but that seems to have been their plan for quite some time, starting with the magnets and other elements that they have quietly amassed into somewhat of a monopoly position, a rather sinister and hostile move, to say the least. But the U.S. has monopoly positions also, much stronger and more far-reaching than China's. I've just not chosen to use them. There was never a reason for me to do so until now. And actually, he yelled that, but I'm not going to yell into the mic. I don't want to get yelled at for the volume on your guys' devices. The letter they sent is many pages long and details with great specificity each and every element that they want to withhold from other nations. Things that were routine are no longer routine at all. I've not spoken to President Xi because there was no reason to do so. This was a real surprise, not only to me, but to all leaders of the free world. I was to meet President Xi in 2 weeks at APEC in South Korea, but now there seems to be no reason to do so. The Chinese letters were essentially inappropriate in that this was the day that, after 3,000 years of bedlam and fighting, there is peace in the Middle East. I wonder if that timing was coincidental. Dependent on what China says about the hostile order that they have just put out, I will be forced as President of the United States of America to financially counter their move. For every element that they have been able to monopolize, we have two. I never thought it would come to this, but perhaps, as with all things, the time has come. Ultimately, though, potentially painful, it will be a very good thing in the end for the USA. Is he talking about rare earths here, or is he talking about firing people who are non-essential working for the government? Asking for whoever asked me that question earlier. Ultimately, though, potentially painful, it will be a very good thing in the end. Okay. Anyway, I think he's talking about the rare earth minerals. One of the policies that we are calculating at this moment is a massive increase of tariffs on Chinese products coming into the United States of America. There are many other countermeasures that are likewise under serious consideration. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. I want to know what elements he's talking about. For every element they have been able to monopolize, we have two. Do we, though? We've been, I mean, for so long, these countries have taken advantage of us, and we haven't really had a president in there that's been willing to push back on some of the trade stuff. And a lot of the executive orders Trump issues has to do with, like, okay, yeah, there is clearly a monopoly here held by other countries. We need to fix that. That's why Trump did the whole thing back in, was it January or no? It was in 2020, and then again in November. Was it April? Stop. Let me just look. I'll stop guessing. We'll do let's do, what should I search for? I think let's do semiconductors. I think that's the one. I think that's the word. Presidential document, executive order, Donald J. Trump. Search. The first one he did, this one. Yep. November. I was way off. Addressing the threat to domestic supply chain from reliance on critical minerals from foreign adversaries and supporting the domestic mining and processing industries. This is when he first laid the groundwork for like the chip stuff and our own manufacturing of all these different materials. And then it was carried out by the Biden administration, and now Trump has taken back over. He just, seized control of all the CHIPS Act funding and grants that were going to Biden allies. They're going to reroute it. They bought into the MP materials. We've talked about that many times. They have a share of Intel now. Trump's already made a lot of moves. And he started them back in 2020. So, I don't know. This feels like a dog whistle. It just doesn't seems like a fake post. He's pretending to take offense, but I don't know. I don't buy it. And I don't buy that we have two, like, I can't even think of, can you guys think of one element or something that we have a monopoly on here that nobody else does? Maybe besides retards? I can't think of any. Oh, and there's one other thing in here that it is interesting that he's trying to equate them sending this letter. Like he's almost playing victimhood here. Like, how dare they do this after I just made peace in the Middle East? As if the peace in the Middle East and the rare earth materials are correlated in any way. Common sense, that's a good one. Silver, copper, maybe. Long Island oysters. So you guys are all talking about food. Like, we have a monopoly on food stuff. And not even like required food. Maine lobster, Long Island oysters. You guys are funny. All right. What else can I talk about? I already did that. Oh, yeah. This is the Trump threatening massive tariff hike. That's the story I just read. Don't need to go back in, but I did want to see if there was any. I know the Dow was down after Trump did that post, which, if you're not going to roll your money over to badlandsgold.com, which don't have to, it's not financial advice, this would present a buying opportunity anytime it goes down, because it always comes back up and then some. Not financial advice. Ooh, I didn't see this story. The Fed chair candidates list has been narrowed down to 5. I wonder if they say who. After a series of rigorous interviews, some lasting as long as 2 hours, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has winnowed down the list of candidates, I'm not even sharing the screen, for the Federal Reserve Chair to 5 from 11. And that person could be nominated to the Fed, though not necessarily as chair, by January. Shadow Fed chair. According to senior Treasury officials, the remaining list of candidates includes 2 sitting Fed officials, which are Vice Chair Michelle Bowman and Governor Christopher Waller, along with Kevin Hassett, former Fed Governor Kevin Warsh, and BlackRock fixed income CIO Rick Reeder. None of these are splashy to me. I don't know any of them. Maybe they are splashy to people who follow the Fed and finances closely, but it's just not that exciting. I would love to see Steve Moran in the mix. Wouldn't mind seeing Bessent himself there. Although as Treasury Secretary, he's kicking ass. This guy, I'd be curious to see. Watch it be this guy, the BlackRock guy. Everybody freak out just for the meltdown. That'd be worth it. CPI inflation report will be released by Labor Department, while other data is delayed by the shutdown. The Labor Department will bring back staff to work on a key consumer inflation report despite the ongoing federal government shutdown. This is kind of surprising me because of the lack of data and information. We were told just a week ago or so that they were likely, almost guaranteed, all the betting markets and everybody who was making, predictions about what's going to happen with the rate, they were all saying that, yeah, they're going to lower the rate because we just don't have enough data not to. But now they're going to bring people in. It's probably going to lower it regardless. But anyway, let's get into some of the Badlands news stories, because there's a few interesting ones here, and I really want to get to that Dominion one and talk about that for a little bit. So this is the first one. Judicial Watch files FOIA lawsuit seeking records on Gabbard's statements about electronic voting machine vulnerabilities. This clip has been, I would say, taken out of context by a lot of people. A lot of people are saying, like, see, she said that the election was stolen. I do believe the election was stolen, but the actual clip itself, it said that, yeah, we have discovered vulnerabilities, which we already knew. And even the election machines like Dominion admitted to it when they put out those reports back in 2021, 2022. Anyway, Judicial Watch announced Thursday it has filed a FOIA request or lawsuit against the Office of the DNI, seeking records from an April White House cabinet meeting in which DNI Tulsi Gabbard discussed the vulnerabilities of electronic voting machines. The lawsuit, let me see. Complaint follows President Trump's March 2025 executive order directing the Department of Homeland Security to review the security of electronic voting systems. During the subsequent April cabinet meeting, Gabbard said that the voting machines are susceptible to hacking and capable of changing votes. She didn't say that they happened, even though I believe they do. She just said it was susceptible. The request is seeking records related to Gabbard's reported statement that we have evidence of how these electronic voting systems have been vulnerable to hackers for a very long time and vulnerable to exploitation to manipulate the results of the votes being cast. The group also asked for any reports, assessments, or intelligence briefings prepared by or for the ODNI evaluating the integrity or vulnerabilities of U.S. electronic voting systems, including materials referenced by Gabbard during the meeting. So, yeah, I mean, I would love to see what evidence she was referring to when she said that. I guess we'll have to stay tuned. But this is the biggie right here. Dominion Voting Systems sold to Missouri-based firm led by former GOP election official. Kind of mind-blowing. I didn't see this coming. I haven't been following this. You know, like, they purchased what I would anticipate is almost like a gold mine of crime, right? Dominion Voting Systems, one of the nation's largest election equipment providers, has been sold to Liberty Vote, a Missouri-based company founded by former Republican election official Scott Leyendecker. Leyendecker, who previously developed software to help poll workers verify voters and check them in at polling sites, described the acquisition as a step toward restoring faith in U.S. elections. Liberty Vote signals a new chapter for American elections, one where trust is rebuilt from the ground up. He said, adding that the company's technology would emphasize paper-based transparency, security, and simplicity. And I would argue, as I feel like many would, that we don't freaking need machines in any aspect of our elections at all. Even to count it, I wouldn't trust it. We don't need it. But this has to be a huge investment. I haven't even gotten to the part where how much you paid. I'll read the story and then I'll talk more. And I know Ash is in the chat, so she can maybe comment on it too. Liberty plans to conduct a full review of Dominion's equipment before the 2026 midterms and rebuild or retire machines as necessary. Dominion machines were used in 27 states during the 2024 election. Leyendecker has longstanding ties to Republican leadership in Missouri. Former Secretary of State Matt Blunt appointed him to investigate St. Louis elections administration after the 2020 election and later named him the city's Republican election director. Ed Martin, a Trump ally, chaired the St. Louis Board of Elections during Leyendecker's tenure. That's interesting. You know what? I'm going to look this guy up. What's his name? Scott Leyendecker. Is there like a wiki page for him or something? Scott. No. What's this guy's background? He's a former Republican. He's an entrepreneur. Oh, he also founded No Inc. That's... I don't love that. Don't love that at all. No Inc. Let me go to my website here. I forgot I had to change it. Devolution.us. Let me find the... When I did the exposing LA County elections article, I thought I had it in here. Or maybe it was Poll Chief. Talking about Connick and stuff. I could have swore No Ink was in this one, but maybe it was just, might have been something else. And then it was vote. Yeah, I should have dug into this. I should have read the story, excuse me, before I actually went live. So know what I'll do? Me and Chris will talk about this on the Power tomorrow. This guy and No Ink and whatnot. Anyway, despite his GOP background, Liberty Vote officials have emphasized Leindecker's reputation for fairness. Nevada Secretary of State Cisco Aguilar, a Democrat, called him open, honest, and transparent. Well, that's any uniparty person praising this should tell you what you need to know. As part of the deal, Liberty reportedly asked Dominion to resolve several defamation lawsuits stemming from claims about the 2020 election. Dominion recently reached undisclosed settlements with Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, and One American News Network. Liberty spokesperson said the acquisition does not require regulatory approval. And I'm going to find the thread or the post that CanCon got into on Twitter with Raheem Kassam. I think Ash might have joined in too. But it was pretty interesting to see the defense of this. And CanCon's arguments were incredibly valid. Let me get to, I gotta scroll down. Hold on. What time is this? Okay, here we go. Dominion isn't dead. He's retweeting a Raheem Kassam article. New national polls ding. Dominion's dead. The U.S.-owned Liberty Vote acquires Dominion voting systems in historic deal. Dominion isn't dead, CanCon says. It's just now reincarnated as Liberty Vote, a.k.a. No Ink. There's nothing good about this. Raheem Kassam, incorrect. CanCon, what is incorrect? Leindecker is the founder of No Ink. This is not a good thing. No voting machine out there will open source their code. Trusting our $21 trillion economy and our lives to black box voting is insane. Raheem Kassam. Oh, right. So you sat through the multiple briefings and White House meetings on this, did you? I must have missed you there. CanCon. So you can't tell me where I'm wrong? It says, I'm not going to get into your internecine Missouri politics that Gateway Pundit has going on against this guy, but the fact that you want to jump out and trash him immediately without knowing anything shows your bad faith. Enjoy your evening. My work and research into elections has nothing to do with any grudges. It's a black box voting system with a risk-limiting audit using computer software to tell you what to randomly search. Anyone, including you, that is telling people somehow that voting on a black box machine is somehow good should not be taken seriously. Love your work at NP, but you are dead wrong on this one. Goes on. Such a good back and forth here. The funny thing is you think they're going to use the same old tech. They're not. As the first one out of the blocks, the hardest on the fraud, I would ask that you trust me on this one. Then Ash chimes in. Hey, Raheem, what is the value exchange of the DVS acquisition if they're not using the tech? If you say it's the client portfolio, I have a follow-up question. Goes on. I don't represent Liberty Vote. You can contact them with questions on their website. And this is like the nail in the coffin. Absolutely love this. Oh, right. So you sat through multiple briefings and White House meetings on this, did you? I must have missed you there. And then the next quote. As the first one out of the blocks, the hardest on the fraud 2020, I would ask that you trust me on this one. So he's giving some sort of opinion as a source of authority, having knowing these guys and like sat in on important meetings and all that stuff. But then when she gets a serious question, when Ash gives him a serious question, he's like, oh, I don't represent them. I can't speak on their behalf. What a little douche. What a douche. Great question, Ash. But this is what they do. These voting companies, they're shenanigans or shenanigans, and all of a sudden they sell it for parts, sell it, rebrand. This time we can trust it. Election, shenanigans, sell it, rebrand. The ownership of the election company here doesn't change the problem that our elections are fraudulent because there is electronics involved. And I hope that Trump continues this push and we do fix our elections and like we get to a point where we get rid of all machines of any kind. And this purchase was completely irrelevant. And Raheem Kassam can suck it on behalf of Liberty Vote. And I mean that with all due respect, which is minimal. Okay, a couple other things here quick, and then I'm going to wrap it up and get you guys over to Ghost's show. Major banks, including Bank of America and Goldman Sachs, explore G7 pegged stablecoin. So now the United States has been already kind of pursuing this, looking into this, and Tether is right there, I believe, is the company. And now we're getting broader acceptance of the Tether coin, or not Tether, the stablecoin situation. 10 global banks, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Citi, Santander, Barclays, BNP Paribas, Deutsche Bank, MUFG, TD Bank, and UBS announced plans on Friday to develop blockchain-based stablecoins pegged to G7 currencies. The initiative targets efficient cross-border payments on public blockchains while ensuring regulatory compliance and enhancing market competition. The effort aligns with the stablecoin market's growth beyond $150 billion, signaling traditional finance's deeper integration with digital assets. It's going to be interesting to look back on like these stories developing, depending where we're at. Like, is there going to be we have a world reserve currency, right? Is there going to be a world reserve stablecoin, or is it just going to be, whatever country's currency is the world reserve currency, the stablecoin attached to that just naturally becomes that too? Probably that one. But I don't know. I'm loving the moves into some of this this different technology, and especially the way that Trump is using it. If you guys didn't watch that YouTube video I sent you the other day, or I posted in the chat, I'd encourage you to do so, because the way the guy breaks down, I can't remember his name, but the way he breaks down what Trump is doing by devaluing our dollar, and how Tether is basically, anytime you buy Tether, you're buying a treasury. It's super fascinating. So I'd encourage you to check it out. Did he say Titty Bank? I don't think so, but I hope. I think I said Citibank. But I do believe now, after reading what you said and thinking this, I think Citibank should officially rebrand and rename themselves Titty Bank. Ash 1776 says, the authority on election fraud, trust me about this voting machine company. LOL, no, fuck off, foreigner. Ash 1776, I'm now going to assume that RK is MI6, in my opinion, based on his behavior. Yeah, be careful. Spetzold, stablecoins enable choice. Different countries, companies, and people will choose the one the trust and want. Yep. Skeptical, stablecoins below. There's only one stablecoin, Bitcoin. I'm a fan of Bitcoin too. I'm there with you. But I'm just saying, like, broad acceptance wise, plus how they're going to strategically need to pay down our debt in a way, and not. I don't think they're just going to use Bitcoin to do it. I think, again, the explanation the guy gives and how they tie it to the stable coins is just, it's above my comprehension, but it sounds good. All to avoid Bitcoin. Yep, but it's unavoidable, man. There's a lot of Bitcoin Max in the chat, and I am with you. Badlandsmedia.tv/river. Badlandsmedia.tv/treasure. Get your coins. If there's a titty bank, I would like to make a withdrawal, says Spetzel. You guys are great. Richard Rohr, he's MI3, half as smart as normal Five Eyes. Love it. Have I spoken about the latest Qatar thingy? I guess it depends which one. I do have I think this. Pentagon to host Qatari F-15 jets and pilots at Idaho Air Force Base. I'm going to play this clip, I suppose.
Of the Gaza peace.
Oops, I accidentally muted it. Hold on.
We also value the close cooperation between Doha and Washington that led to the signing of the Gaza peace plan on October 8th. This historic achievement underscores what can be accomplished when our nations work together with courage and trust, amongst other partners such as Egypt and Turkey. We further welcome today's signing of the letter of acceptance establishing a Qatari Emir Air Force facility and Mountain Home Air Base in Idaho. This step strengthens interoperabilities, enhance joint readiness, and advance our shared defense goals. Mr. Secretary, together we will continue to deepen this strategic partnership in pursuit of lasting peace and shared security. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We will sign now.
Is that what you're talking about? A skeptical new Friday show to replace OnlyLands called Titty Bank. You guys. Richard Rohr, John, my nightmare. I was born to Dolly Parton, and I was a bottle baby. You guys are terrible, but in the best way. Happy with silver right now, says Red Lisa. Yeah, hard to be disappointed in that too. Did I see it was over $50 or something? Silver right now. I am a believer. Like, you probably can't call me a maxi because of I do have other things that I've put a little. I mean, I don't have a lot of money anyway, but like I've put a little money into, you know. And it was a long time ago, but silver was one of them. I don't have all my eggs in one basket. That's what I'm trying to say. And so I have some silver. Most of my silver has come from JC Bird at all the conferences. He always gives me a coin. That's from, yeah, so it's $47 now. It's down a little bit, but I did see it was above 50 at one point, didn't I? Or am I dreaming that? What do you think about Hamas funding Qatar being allowed to have a base in the U.S.? I don't know. Ricky Irish Titty Bank domain, John. I feel like that's probably owned. And I don't know if I really need to own that domain. At least not now. The Qatar thing, that's a Ghost question. I would go ask Ghost that in this next show. Oh, no, you didn't. I would go ask him. I can give my thoughts on it, but I don't follow the full geopolitical stuff. When it comes to that, I do broad strokes. I'm more of a domestic documents guy. That's how I would brand myself. And I have opinions here at home, but I don't want foreign money at all is spent here unless they're investing in stuff or buying products. Like, I don't think they should be sending us money for access. I don't think they should be sending us money for opinions. You want to send us money for trade? Great. You can buy our products. You want to just give us some free money with nothing in exchange? We'll take it. But I don't like any country. It doesn't matter which one it is. I don't like China buying up our land. I don't like any foreign country physically buying up our land at all. I think in the United States land and property should only be owned by people who are only United States citizens, not dual citizens even. I'm an American maxi like that. I'm an America first maxi in all regard. Like, if there's a problem, any sort of political problem or question or anything, and like I'm going to lean heavily towards whatever solution most closely matches the America First standpoint. So yeah, maybe I don't understand the full question or the story, but that's my stance on the Qatar thing. But if we're just like training them to do stuff for Middle East, like if we're training them with F-15s, if that's what this is, which is my understanding of it, we're gonna have them come to the United States and train on our F-15s for a while and then send them back over. I don't see a huge issue with that. That's more of a strategic military cooperation type thing. There was this that was put out. President Trump will be speaking at both 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern today, including an announcement. People are expecting it to be something with his China tariff announcement. So we'll see if that's what comes. But anyway, guys, a couple rants here. Ash says, no ink. Didn't say they weren't using the old tech. Raheem did, based on his secret White House knowledge. Congrats on the anniversary, John. Congrats to all of us. But yes, thank you, Ash. And Keith O'Higgins, Titty Bank should have special loan rates for motorboaters. You are terrible. With that, I'm going to play our typical soft disclosure commercial, and then I'm going to send you guys over to Ghost of Base, Patrick Henry's Friday show, Geopolitics with Ghost. And then I think I'll just see you guys tonight on OnlyLands. So you guys have a great rest of your Friday and stay out of trouble. You guys were in a spicy mood today. I love it. I'm here for it. Just behave a little bit. Stay out of trouble. Catch y'all later.
They say confidence starts with a smooth skin. And baby, Soft Disclosure Lotion delivers.
I swear by this stuff. Like, I kid you guys not. This is the first lotion I've ever had in my entire life that, like, I don't get ashy after I put it on any part of my body. Like, my hands are always dry, and my hands have not gotten ashy without, like, rinsing them through water and washing them with soap since I started putting Soft Disclosure on. Like, it is black man approved. I kid you not.
Black man approved. You heard him. And let's be real. If it can handle his hands, it can handle anything.
Feet are like, they get so dry, like the heels of them, it'll just kind of like flake off. Like, but with Soft Disclosure, once you put it on, like it starts to absorb it.
Yeah, he went there. Don't worry, we won't show you his feet, but trust us, they're smoother too. Soft Disclosure Lotion is made with aloe, goat's milk, honey, and our exclusive oil blend that actually restores your skin barrier. Visit softdisclosure.com, use code BADLANDS, and get 15% off.
Real good.
Why they stopping me?